My fiancé said, "Your sister is like family to me," until I found them in our bed the night before the wedding. Brielle and I had been together for 4 years. We met at a marketing conference in Denver, bonded over terrible hotel coffee, and within 6 months I'd introduced her to my family. My sister Natasha adored her immediately. They became inseparable. Shopping trips, wine nights, inside jokes I wasn't part of. I thought it was beautiful, honestly. My two favorite people getting along so perfectly. When I proposed, Natasha cried harder than Brielle did. She insisted on planning the entire bachelorette party, spent weekends addressing invitations with Brielle, and helped her pick out the dress. "You're so lucky," everyone kept saying. "Your sister and fiancé are best friends." I was lucky, until I wasn't. The rehearsal dinner was perfect. Dad gave a toast about finding your person. Mom cried. Brielle squeezed my hand under the table and whispered, "Tomorrow I become yours forever." Natasha stood and raised her glass. "To my brother and my best friend. You two are my whole world." After dinner, Brielle said she was exhausted and heading to our apartment to get beauty sleep. I stayed at the venue helping pack up centerpieces. My cousin Tyler and I ended up at a bar until midnight, celebrating my last night of freedom. I got home around 12:30, thinking Brielle would be asleep. The apartment was dark. I heard sounds from our bedroom, low voices, laughter. I pushed open the door. They didn't even notice me at first. Too busy with each other in our bed, on our sheets, 12 hours before Brielle was supposed to walk down the aisle toward me. When Natasha finally saw me standing there, she screamed and grabbed for clothes. Brielle just stared, her face completely blank. "It's not what it looks like," Natasha stammered. "Really?" I said. "Because it looks like my sister is sleeping with my fiancé the night before my wedding." Brielle found her voice. "Landon, please, let me explain." "How long?" I asked. Silence. "How long?" 8 months, Brielle whispered. 8 months, since my birthday party. Since the weekend I was visiting Dad after his surgery. Since all those girls' trips to the spa and the wine country. I'd paid for half those trips. Encouraged them to bond. Thought I was building a family. "We didn't mean for this to happen," Natasha said, crying now. "We fell in love. In my bed," I said. "You fell in love in my bed?" I told them both to get out. Natasha tried to hug me. I stepped back like she was radioactive. They gathered their things and left. I sat on the floor of my apartment until sunrise, calling vendors, canceling everything. The venue, the caterer, the photographer. Some charged me cancellation fees. I paid them. At 8 a.m., guests started texting, asking where to park. I sent a mass message. "Wedding canceled. Personal reasons. Sorry for the inconvenience." My phone exploded. Mom called 17 times. Dad showed up at my apartment demanding to know what happened. When I told him, he went silent. Then he said, "Maybe you're overreacting. People make mistakes. She's been sleeping with my sister for 8 months." I said, "That's not a mistake, that's a choice." My parents tried to smooth things over. Family therapy, they suggested. Forgiveness and healing. They'd already paid for the wedding after all. The deposits were non-refundable. Couldn't we all just talk this through? "No," I said. "We can't." I moved to Portland 3 weeks later. Took a job I'd been offered the previous year and turned down because Brielle wanted to stay close to her family. Started over completely. Changed my number. Blocked them on everything. 6 months later, Brielle married Natasha in a small ceremony. Mom posted photos on Facebook. They looked happy. The comments were full of people congratulating them on their beautiful love story, on being brave enough to live their truth. No one mentioned me. Last month, Natasha called from my parents' phone, knowing I wouldn't answer her number. She was crying. Brielle had left her for someone else, a woman she'd met at work. "I don't know what to do," Natasha sobbed. "I thought she loved me." I didn't say anything for a long moment. Then I said, "I thought she loved me too," and hung up.